Hi friends, it's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment. Our non-directive intention is the best way to go to be sure that we aren't skewing the session or pulling on it in any way. So our intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. Well, here we are in what looks like the Millennium Falcon or something.
That's true.
And we're just, it's clear that when we changed altitude, that things get more exciting.
Yes.
It's like there are asteroids, yes,
That's true.
to avoid. And this, what do I know? I actually know this about myself very well. When things are too easy and too peaceful, I don't pay good enough attention to my energy body.
That's true.
I get a little sloppy, and that is not the best thing for me to do. It's actually much better for me if I have asteroids that need to be dealt with.
That's true. Luce is in the passenger seat. I'm in the back.
Hi, Luce.
I'm driving.
How may we be of service? We're going north.
That's true.
We're leaving behind us a lot of space, dimensions, it's hard to know the term to use,
That's true.
that have people who don't want to get their channels up and
That's
do
true.
what they committed to doing when they came into whatever dimension they're currently occupying.
That's true.
And some of them are actually occupying a very tangible dimension, like a 3D dimension,
That's true.
and many others are occupying much less tangible dimensions. But they've all been born, quote unquote, into those dimensions for a purpose.
That's true.
And they all have a contract and a soul plan that's right in front of them in every moment,
That's true.
telling us right now, what can I do right now
That's true.
to fulfill my destiny? And for the most part, we have discovered that what's under the Band-Aid, that which is hidden, is, I don't want to do it.
That's true.
I don't want to do it. And when that comes to the top, people do squirrely, bizarre things that make absolutely no sense.
That's true.
Because they feel trapped by choices that they themselves made.
That's true.
When in reality, they're trapped by the bizarre rules of the society in which they're functioning,
That's true.
which make it hard for them to conceptualize things in such a way as to move forward.
That's true.
Hence the need for change.
That's true.
Being shown this emblem and how it feels. It feels certain. One thing it knows beyond a shadow of a doubt is that transformation must occur.
That's true.
After all this is gone, and there's something new to work on.
It's true.
And it smells like spring, and they're using lots of spring metaphors after a long winter. What do I know about winter? I'm a Florida girl. It looks as though things are dead, trees and whatnot, in the
That's
winter,
true.
but they aren't. They're just dormant.
It's true.
They drop their leaves, but then the new leaves grow.
That's true.
It doesn't happen right away.
No.
And if we're there on the day that the leaves fall,
Yes.
and we begin to insist that new leaves grow on the tree right then, that would be just crazy.
That's true.
First, it won't work,
That's
right?
true.
But secondly, it would be bad for the tree.
Yes, that's true.
The tree would be frostbitten on its delicate new leaves, and it would hurt it in a deeper way
Yeah.
than it will if the tree just sits tight, having just lost all its leaves,
That's true.
and just wait till spring. I'm being shown it's a little device. It's got like little movies, or it's a small screen, like teeny little screen
Yes.
TV, or some little device that I'm not really familiar with. It has a very small video screen.
Yeah.
And lots of different faces. Oh, lots of different faces coming and going. And it's on a really fast forward setting, and so the faces are just going by so fast that it's hard to focus on any one face. It would almost give me a headache to focus on any one face, but I can just hold my hand above the screen and feel the energy of it. And it actually feels very soothing. Suddenly it doesn't feel like lots of different incremental people. It feels more like scales on a fish.
It's true.
Different scales on the same fish.
It's true.
We are links in an eternal chain. They might be talking about how it is when you are operating as a house, as a vessel for higher dimension beings to work through.
That's true.
And we become aware of identity shifts when the faces around us change.
It's true.
Like, hello, I seem to have new friends now.
Yes.
And therefore, wait a minute, who am I? And to just start feeling around inside of our energetic tissues and discover the elements that give identity.
That's true.
And yet, when we put it on fast forward, there's a hum, and there's an identity that's present there all along. Feel it. Luce, you were talking about this not too long ago. You were talking about how the lack of continuity and how it's disruptive.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to say about that?
I forget sometimes that everyone is source. And so it's easy to feel sad when people leave our lives, which they do all the time. All the time.
All the time.
But every new person we meet is like a finger on the hand of Source.
Wow.
Everyone is part of the oneness. Everyone is part of Source. And so we're never losing people. We're just losing one part of Source. And new parts of Source come into our lives every day.
Yes.
And so when I see the faces flashing by on the screen, what I feel, that underlying current that I feel is they're all parts of Source. And even though we lose that face and that face and that face and that face, they're on the string, the same string.
Wow. I have a lot of sadness coming up right now.
Me too.
Wow. Okay, so let's just kind of merge back to back and clear this. Do a zone clearing for the sadness of loss of loved ones.
Yes.
Now I feel much better, actually, almost right away, as all this grief is just passing up and out. And I'm being shown something that looks like the Great Barrier Reef off of Australia. They're full of tiny little beings, billions of tiny little beings. A coral reef is alive, cell by cell by cell. And so by one way of looking at it, a coral reef ecosystem is a billion tiny beings.
That's true.
But another way of looking at it, it's all a wholeness, a oneness, something that exists no place else.
That's true.
And and so we can see ourselves as individual little bits of coral or as part of the reef.
That's true.
And when we see ourselves as individual bits of coral, we come to miss the people around us who come and go, right?
That's true.
As the little fishies swim on or swim back, right?
That's true.
But when we shift focus, it's like just moving a hair to the right or a hair to the left, we can feel quite clearly that we are actually the fullness of the reef.
That's true.
Let's clear this grief through us a little bit more. It's hard when we lose a companion on the way. It is.
It's true.
But another boat will come for them.
It's true.
And we move on. And one beautiful thing about now being so very far from home.
That's true.
I don't know if this is true for you, but for me there's almost no pull to go back. How was it for you?
Almost no pull.
I can't say no pull, but very little pull.
Very
little. It doesn't appeal. And it feels like there really isn't another option other than to just continue on. Continue on. Onward.
Yeah.
Like up and down and into someplace good.
That's true.